Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Paul and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ball chat.
Greetings, football lovers. Well, sports fans. Greetings, sports fans. Welcome to BCN Sports halftime show. Yo, I haven't been here in a while, so we have to forget the name. Halftime show. My name is Benton, along with George. What go on, family? How you stay?
I'm good. I'm here. 2 weeks away from the World Cup, and I still don't feel it.
Well, you know what?
1 week. Actually, 1 week away from the World Cup.
Since you don't feel the World Cup, leave those who feel in the World Cup to speak on the date of the World Cup.
Gladly.
You know, yo. But how you doing, family? How are things?
Well, I'm good. I'm here.
Yeah, man. Big up. Jam-packed show, of course. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday. It's halftime show. We'll review some of the week's major news in sports, not just football. Yeah, the Sunday show is predominantly all about football, but the Wednesday show is anything sports, and we have quite a few things to discuss on today's show. Junior, we're just going to kick it off, and we're not going to waste any time. We'll discuss Reggae Girlz and Yard Ballers at the middle towards the end of the show. I mean, I say back, but we don't know. I don't want the back road vibes reach around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fire.
No. All right, dead ear. Let's get to it. Let's kick it off with Real Madrid.
You want to follow that?
I don't know. I thought this was your expertise, Junior. You've always recommended for folks to be given a tour of this site in Jamaica. Visitors.
Yeah, but this back thing, we don't know about that.
All right, let's get to it with some football news and kicking it off with the Real Madrid presidential election that's coming up this weekend. Jose Mourinho is in one camp. We know he's in the camp of Florentino Perez because, of course, Perez announced that if re-elected, Jose Mourinho will be the man. Florentino Perez going up. Jose Mourinho will be hired. Florentino Perez is going up against Enrique Riquelme. Enrique Riquelme said that, he will sign Haaland and Rodri if elected at Real Madrid, family.
Yeah, and I think you said it the last time, or I cited an article where they were saying that basically we know Perez is going to win re-election. It's just that Riquelme can use this opportunity to leverage some signing or some direction that he would like to see the club going, or him and his supporters like to see the club going. So that's where the angles are. So this Rodri Haaland thing, I mean, Perez supposed to look at it like, okay, but Rodri wanted to come to us anyway. The Haaland thing now is a whole lot of ball of wax. And I think Riquelme is just trying to excite the base, and maybe he represents a part of the Madristas that don't like the direction that Real Madrid has taken over the last couple of years since Carlo Ancelotti left. Maybe are towards the end of Carlo Ancelotti's tenure and last year. Maybe that's the angle. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Fabrizio Romano, of course, the man who follow transfer news very closely and quite often very accurate in this space. He did a video on this. I think the video came out earlier today or maybe yesterday evening. I don't know what time. I did end up watching the video from Fab, and he's pretty much saying that over at Man City, they're pretty calm. They're not stressed about any of these reports because they know Erling Haaland is pretty much an upfront sort of guy. Erling Haaland will let them know when his time at City comes to an end, and they do expect him at some point to move on, but he will not make any commitments. In basically long and short, they don't expect Erling Haaland to make any commitments to Enrique Riquelme about in this presidential election. No, Fabrizio Romano this is from Fab. He didn't say Riquelme, of course, but in a nutshell, that's what he's getting at. He says, I cannot speak on what Riquelme knows and have not committed to from, I haven't gotten commitments from people, but he can only speak from his sources inside Man City. So it's a lot of politics, and it's just akin to any sort of political election. Real Madrid, Football Club Barcelona, all these things, these clubs in La Liga with presidential elections are, oftentimes it gets a bit testy and tricky at times.
So is it fair to say then that Riquelme is promising new roads?
Yeah,
And
yes.
and this is for our Jamaican, really our whole entire Caribbean diaspora should be able to relate to that comment about when it comes to election time, there are promises that are made, and you hope that if they win, the promises are kept, right? So
Yeah. But
yeah,
but this is not unique, because the way Florentino Perez won the election was that famous, going back over a decade now,
Luis
is that
Figo.
famous Luis Figo promise that brought him
Yes.
to the seat in Real
Yes.
Madrid. So it's not surprised that a young upstart is going to try use the same thing or similar approach to displace Florentino Perez. And say it how we want to say it, cut it how we want to cut it. 79 years old, Florentino Perez may have had his best years behind him
Yes,
as
I agree.
president of this club.
I agree.
So watch the space. Members will vote this Sunday. The interesting thing in this presidential election, Junior, Jose Mourinho did a video for Florentino Perez.
Yep.
And it's
Well, what's it
on
interesting about that?
Florentino Perez Twitter account. In the video, we can't play it here, of course, because run the copyright. You know what? We probably should. They should be happy for us to play it so they can get some votes. Well,
No, we can't.
no, BCN Sports listeners now vote in this election, but well, Junior, I don't know, But the video itself, Florentino 2026 video where basically it says mientras en la tele hablan y hablan y hablan, and Jose Mourinho appears and says sí. And basically it says they talk on television. All they do, they talk on television. And Jose Mourinho said yes. And then a caption followed. Much more things to come. So, is it a bit strange to you that Jose Mourinho have not been hired, have not signed a contract, is actually doing promo videos for the man contesting the election?
No, and this is one of the worst kept secrets. Like, assuming something extraordinary doesn't happen, weekend, come by the end of the weekend, Florentino Perez will be cemented as the president of Real Madrid, and that Monday, Jose Mourinho will be unveiled as the new head coach of Real Madrid. I mean, that's just par for the course right now. The flying ointment can be if he doesn't win the election, or if it's a close call. Then it become a flying ointment, because and this is where I think Florentino Perez is playing chess while Riquelme is playing checkers. Because if you are trying to be the next president of Real Madrid, Benton, you talking about you want to bring in Erling Haaland and Rodri And you're talking about you're definitely signing a Spain international and blah blah blah, right? Who's going to be the coach? And the sensible Real Madrid fans, the voters, supposed to sit down and say, brother, we just went through a disastrous season. Who's going to be the coach? Like, why are we talking about players when we don't have a leader at the top? We don't have a coach. So I think Florentino Perez, he knows he's going to win. We all know Jose Mourinho is going to be called in as a head coach. But Jose will be starting behind the 8 ball. This is not like the last time when Jose Mourinho signed as the manager of Real Madrid. No, Jose Mourinho is going to be signed with some doubts around him. He's going to have to make some believers around him. So he has to hit the ground running. He has to hit the ground running. And I think this whole thing is setting up Real Madrid either to have an extremely stellar season next year or a crash and burn season next year. It's going to be one of the two because we know Jose is not going to sit there and half the crap that went on this year will go on next year. And if Real Madrid starts slow, and what I mean by starting slow, they can't even win an ugly game 1-0. They cannot win an ugly game 2-1 come from behind. They have to hit the ground running to make believers out of the non-believers that they have seen right now. Because you have a bunch of non-believers out there for Real Madrid, for Jose Mourinho. So it is, I don't think there are going to be any winners, but I think Perez is going to come out with some scars after this weekend.
Yeah, and the fact that Perez is being challenged, I think this is enough to raise alarm bells over at Real Madrid and in Florentino Perez camp.
Yeah.
The fact that he's been challenged. I mean, he's been probably the most successful coach in Real Madrid's president in Real Madrid's history. But it's not about what you did 5 years ago at the Royal White. It's about the last week, last few months, what has happened and the direction that Real Madrid is going. So,
Yeah.
you know, the thing with me with Jose Mourinho is that this was a man who was coaching Benfica. Both men, Jose Mourinho and Florentino Perez, perfectly need a smooth transition, an easy election, and like you said, very good results on the top end of the La Liga tournament, La Liga season. Now, the thing that is concerning to me is that if you have a player, you have a manager that's endorsing a presidential candidate during a presidential election for Real Madrid, then what obligations did that presidential candidate made to this coach, this manager, Jose Mourinho? What latitude or leeway will Jose Mourinho get if the season starts off piss poor? Because we know Jose Mourinho does not play exciting football, and Real Madrid fans not just want to win football games, they want to win and they want to be entertained.
Yeah.
So that's the confusing thing for me here is that Florentino Perez is really, I understand the calmness of, well, not calm. I understand the experience of selecting Jose Mourinho. All right? Especially with the big players, the egos that you have. But I also recognize that, you are struggling to really convince Manchester that this is a very good hire.
Yeah, and the splash hire was last year.
Yes.
And it didn't work out. It didn't work out. So now the fan base is looking at you and probably saying, so why should I trust you with this one?
Yeah.
Worse is a retread. So it is, I think you accurately put it, Florentino Perez at his age right now needs Jose Mourinho to be successful. And Jose Mourinho at his age right now needs Florentino Perez support to be successful again as a coach, to resuscitate his career. So I think they both have something in common. And I think the Real Madrid players, when the dust settles, because there's going to be dust up. That locker room is not going to be the same. When the current Galacticos settle, they are also going to need Jose Mourinho, and they are going to need Florentino Perez to regather their aura. So all three parties are interdependent on each other, and it could be a match made. It could be a match made in heaven, but it also could be a crash and burn scenario. So we'll see.
Yeah, more to come, football family. Jose Mourinho in a commercial and advert for Florentino Perez. Florentino Perez running for re-election in Real Madrid. He's run against Enrique Riquelme. Mr. Riquelme promised to sign or made a commitment to sign Erling Haaland and Rodri if elected president of the Royal Whites. I think Fabrizio Romano, one final thing on this thing. Fabrizio Romano said that Erling Haaland did put out a statement, agent, and something to that effect. You can check that. I think he did say that in his video. I was busy listening, but I didn't see any official statement. All right, continue our maybe Fabrizio Romano got inside statement. I don't know, from Erling Haaland and his camp. Continuing our football roundup, sports fans. This is the BCN Sports halftime show, our Wednesday sports fix. Continuing our roundup, Junior, multiple reports that Adoni Ariola set to sign for Liverpool. Of course, last weekend we heard about Arne Slot being shown the door. It seems like Ariola is the man. It's eminent now. Any day now. It seems like it's only a matter of time. I suspect you want to get this deal done as quickly as possible.
Yeah, speaking about flux and speaking about needing a strong start, yeah, they need to get this done, and objective number one is fixing that defense. Liverpool might go through a lot of a transition next season too. Iriola has proven that he can do a lot with less. Now, I question his ability to do something when you have more. And we've seen coaches that has proven that they can run with the big boys with limited resources, but when they get the resources now, it's like they forget how to coach. And I think Iriola, it could possibly run into that scenario. He's going to have a bunch of players coming back from the World Cup that he's going to have to now reconvince to buy into his vision. Which I don't, and I'm assuming that he's going to get the job. Let's just know that's what you're asking about. Let's just bypass all of that. He's going to get the job, right? Let's just settle on that. Iriola walks in into Anfield, and he's not going to see his team until after the World Cup. He might have a World Cup champion in his roster, or in the locker room. He's going to have an aging captain that everybody said should be let go, right? You're going to have players in there that are coming back from a major injury and have something to prove with Alexander Isak. We don't know. Etiqueta won't be back by then. Etiqueta is looking at what, January, February?
Yeah, so sometime in the season start.
Right. So, but Etiqueta will be there on crutches, listening to you. You have Frimpong, who came over and had a horrid season. You have Florian Wirtz, who had a horrible season, but will be coming off a German campaign. Does Iriola have the personality to capture that room? Because what we saw, and I think the death nail was when that Mohamed Salah interview. That Mohamed Salah parting shot, that was a death nail for Arne Slot. You remove Mohamed Salah out of this locker room now. Is it now Virgil's time to possibly send a death nail to Iriola before he even starts? And are we possibly going to say, and sorry to draw a reference to Manchester United, but that's my frame of reference.
The normal reference to Manchester United is inevitable. So let's get it out of the way.
It's my recent frame of reference. But Eric Ten Hag and Cristiano Ronaldo, you remember that preseason? Could Iriola be walking into something similar with Virgil van Dijk? You're already losing Konate. And regardless of what Arne Slot once said, Liverpool defense just got astronomically worse overnight. And now you're going to look at the captain that is at the pinnacle or the spearhead of the reason why your defense is that bad. I know you have to get him to buy into you. Iriola has a lot of work ahead of him. A lot of work ahead of him.
Yeah, people, please forgive me. I have an oily forehead, and I notice this on videos, and I'm trying to wipe this. Yeah. Hey.
I don't think people busy boy fired.
Yeah, this is, we need,
Yo,
production
we're not a makeup show, brother.
Production manager to come around and so come do something. All right, got in our sports fix and Ariola. You know what? The things around new managers are up and coming managers, not new. Up and coming managers heading into a locker room like a Liverpool. This is the thing about it, is that it's a huge opportunity. It's an unknown. We know what we're going to get with. We spoke about Jose Mourinho going over at Real Madrid. We know what we're going to get from Jose Mourinho. He's going to be very defensive, but he's going to allow his star players to flex their muscles and do what they do best, right? We don't know but he's used to big ballers. He's used to big personalities. Ariola at Liverpool is an unknown. We can speak from now till next year how great he was at Bournemouth, how this player was high flying, how that they were playing good football. That is Bournemouth. That is a place where the expectations level is not the same as Liverpool. This is the big league. This is the big side. Big team, big trophies are expected from Ariola. And if he doesn't hit the ground running, winning football games, if I'm looking up and see Ariola struggling with, I wouldn't play, with some look of bug sides, like a Coventry who just came from championship at Anfield. I mean, Liverpool fans are not going to be because at the end of the day, I spoke to one Liverpool fan this weekend. Just a small sample size. Well, I got 2 or 3. Just to test the pulse of the Liverpool vibes. And they said they love his football. One was vain enough, said, I want to see good football. But I know he even saying that. If good football from now till next year, if they don't win any trophies, they're going to just be back to complaining about something else.
True, but one of the benefits are one of the advantages that Iriola have coming in. I big up BM. BM saying greetings, Bell Chat. I thought you guys retired for the summer. He's not complaining. Keep up the good work. Yeah, the Sunday live show is done for the summer. Sundays we won't be live until 1 week before the Community Shield. But halftime show we decide we'll keep it up going. We'll keep it going.
And
but
pop-up
the one
shows.
and pop-up shows because we'll have some content coming. And I'm actually, if you're still looking on, I'm actually closing off and signing off on something that we will hopefully release next week. But so one advantage that Iriola has is his style of football. And what we saw at Bournemouth, we did not see a team at Bournemouth that big up Kofi Paul. We did not see a team at Bournemouth that showed up at Anfield. No, let me not use Anfield. Showed up at Emirates and parked the bus. And Iriola is a pragmatic coach, and he's a tactician, and he does this and he does that. No, Bournemouth played free football wherever they played. Wherever they were lining up, they were coming and they were going to run at you, right? That easily translates to Liverpool. That easily translates to any big side out there. As long as the coach can get the players to believe in his system and a system of just playing free, playing attacking, and playing comfortable. That's Bournemouth. That's what Bournemouth brought. So I think, and I'm maybe talking on the two sides of the mouth, because I think the job is going to be very difficult. But from a tactical perspective, his job might not be as hard as it seems on the surface, as long as he fixes that defense. That's the key. If he has two central defenders that he is comfortable leaving on an island and telling him side for go play ball, he will be Liverpool will be okay going forward. Now, will he be outcoached in some games because of his lack of experience? Possible. Will he, how does he motivate millionaires compared to motivating players that trying to look contracts at bigger clubs? That will be the difference maker for him at Liverpool. But the style of football, I don't think a Liverpool fan have to worry about. The style of football playing. So from that perspective, they'll be fine. It is the man management thing. And that is what sets big coaches apart at big teams.
Looking forward to see Ariola roll out with this Liverpool team. Exciting. Yeah, I couldn't say surmise it any better. I mean, exciting, tactical, attacking football going forward. But let's see how the Liverpool faithful. I mean, Kofi Powell, you are a Liverpool faithful. Your thoughts on Ariola getting the job at? Well, not yet, but inevitably he will get the job. Your thoughts on him, Ariola, if he does go on to get the job at Liverpool? All right, continuing our halftime show, football family. Remember to smash the like button. Remember to subscribe to the thing. Remember, smash the like button. You don't know how you go. You don't know. All right, Junior. Transfer news: Anthony Gordon is now joining. Anthony Gordon's reportedly at Football Club Barcelona, Junior.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say?
Anthony Gordon is not Barca DNA. Let me get that one out of the way.
He's definitely not. Kofi says he will do good. Good appointment. He likes the style of play. And I think our Liverpool fans that watch football are going to believe that as well. As for Anthony Gordon,
$93 million signing Anthony Gordon.
And deciding not to sign Marcus Rashford for 30.
93. Well, I know it's a Manchester United bias over this, but $93 million for Anthony Gordon to Barcelona. Yeah. What?
You are the struggling Barcelona fan. I consider you a struggling Barcelona fan that is going through relapse. How do you explain that transfer? Like, and the reason why I'm saying that is this. I don't want some prejudice. I don't want some racist. But when was the last time?
Well, don't say it then, because if you had to say that, then.
But it has to be said.
Why?
When was the last time you saw a player like Anthony Gordon at Barcelona?
I'd have to go back and Eddie Gudjonsen, with the similar sort of hairstyle.
No, he had a box fade. No, but that's a good call. Good answer. But good answer, it come from Iceland, right?
Yeah, but
He's from
I
Iceland.
figured you could move
He doesn't count.
you
That's
know.
like Loan does. He fits. I'm talking British. I'm talking British. I'm talking British born bred footballer. Anthony
Yeah,
God.
let's not get all those hype British ballers over.
Yeah, it's like
But Anthony Gordon is not one of those hype British. Well, not as hype as some of those British ballers that ended up in La Liga.
so we're talking about Rashford, we're talking about Beckham, we're talking about Steve McManaman. Um, who else? Garrett
Barcelona
Bale.
page is showing Anthony Gordon clip.
The BM saying Anthony Gordon, like seriously.
Barcelona page is showing Anthony Gordon's clip. How the box come on? Yo, I joke this. All right. Jokes, fun and joke aside, because people tune into BCN Sport for real analysis. Okay, it's not a far-fetched move because it's something that Mr. Hansel Flick wants. It's a type of player that he wants. I mean, we saw Rafinha going down, boom, Barcelona. We saw Marcus Rashford taking free kick for Barcelona. Anthony Gordon supposed to be younger. $93 million more. I can't come up with any sort of logical. Let me see if I can find the Barcelona fan comment, because maybe I need to read that Donald's comment, because I mean I can't make sense of it, but it is what it is. I mean it is what it is. Donald will always explain away the moves. I don't agree with the transfer. As I said, he's not Barca DNA, and Barca DNA are players that have the ability to withstand pressure in tight spaces and still play ball. Anthony Gordon is a kick and run it down baller. Kick and run it down baller. This epitomizes English ballers. Kick and run it down. And it's coming to a World Cup venue right near you. Kick and run it down England side. And Anthony Gordon will be on display. So, I mean, this is why I'm on sabbatical from Barcelona. Because of foolishness like this.
Yeah, and as we talked about it last week, I don't want to rehash it, but I have to ask the question again. And BM kind of answer it by saying Mason Greenwood, with his pace, skill, and flair, would have been a better fit for Barcelona. Yeah.
No, we
But
can't. Barcelona can't deal with that thing over there, so. Cannot
okay.
deal with the woman thing over this.
But for all
Alright,
the left
sorry, Junior. So this is what the Barcelona loyalist said. The Barcelona defender said, quote, Flick actually wanted an exact like-for-like replacement for Rafinha. That's why he proposed Anthony Gordon's name. Like Rafinha, Gordon too is not a dribbler, but he can do the exact things what Rafinha does. Flick don't want to do any type of experiment for that left inside forward position, and that's completely understandable. Gordon will be very useful for the team, for the system. Flick will never compromise the pressing structure of the first line, and we all saw what happened when Barca don't press properly. So, based on this analysis by the Barca faithful, we are using Rafinha as the standard bearer to sign Gordon.
Okay.
Again, not a Barca DNA player. Another kick and run down baller. Rafinha is an upscale kick and run down baller.
Right.
And this is all because of this Deco brother over Barcelona making all the moves. And you think that for a player who was such a fantastic midfielder, you would expect him to actually identify real ballers. But these, yo, Barcelona, right? But I've gone on long enough. But Anthony Gordon is a Barcelona player.
No, I I asked you last week. I'm gonna go through it again. Left wingers in the world, right? And this is $93 million we're talking about. First of all, people are saying Barcelona was broke. And we're talking about the diehard Barcelona fans that you and I know was balling about Barca broke, but them can find 93 million for a surplus player in Anthony Gordon. You have Cavaskelia is out there. Jeremy Doku is out there. Barcola is out there. Rafael Leao is out there. I said that tongue in cheek. Yildiz from Juventus is out there. I'm going to say Nico Williams again is out there. Diomande is out there. Serge Gnabry at Bayern Munich is
No, all foot that. All foot.
okay, but just call a name there. You have if he's an old foot, what you think about Fufu man, Karim Adiyami?
No. Not that he can run no baller. None of them ballers are Barca DNA. Including this brother.
Now, I just have my little Google search. Belgium have a baller named Malik Fofana, plays for Lyon. So these are all, to me, options. Now you say Fufu man Adiyami is a kick and run no baller. Him aside, for that list of players that I just gave you, most of those kind of fit Barca DNA to me versus, and I agree with you, versus Anthony Gordon. I have nothing against Anthony Gordon, nothing against him. But that interview that he did, when he did the interview and they were talking about his transfer to Barcelona, he acted more giddy. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe it's like a dream come true. I'm going to Barcelona. And I think you need to define more what Barca DNA is. And these clubs, Barcelona, Real Madrid, you don't really have an English club like that right now because them so topsy-turvy. But PSG right now, no team in Italy right now. Those clubs, to me, so it's Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG right now, globally. I would have said Manchester City, but Pep gone. So that Man City is out of the equation. The players that those teams sign should be players walking in and say, this is where I belong. This is match made. So we don't need no fanfare. And the fanfare is going to be people looking at me wearing the shirt and like, oh my God, I love what I see. It shouldn't be me sitting there like, I can't believe somebody wear the shirt. And that's what Anthony Gordon looked like to me. And that's not Barca DNA. So that's what me personally define as Barca DNA, is a player that's going to show up and say, I am cutting out my space in football. And I'm going to cut out my space in football wearing this Barcelona shirt. Anthony Gordon, good luck, brother. Hey, if he is successful, I think he is going to create a space for a lot of young footballers to look up to. But normally, teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid sign the players that young footballers know they cannot reach that level and put that player poster on the wall. It is not, I could be there someday. That's not the level. So good luck to him still, but
Yeah, wishing 25 years old Anthony Gordon all the best. He said, quote, I wanted to speak Spanish because as a kid, I believed that I would play for Barca. Believe it or not, I have a physio in Newcastle and we spoke every day. And I told him that one day I will play for Barca. So I want to learn Spanish. So why you never learn
He
to play?
lie. What a youth
Why you
lie.
never learn to play Barca DNA football, brother? All right, but
Hey, big up, Kessina. He call up a baller named Micah. Is Micah Gods.
yes,
God,
God,
how you pronounce his
yeah,
name?
God.
Gods
Yep,
from Belgium.
yep.
He say he's even a better fit. That's all another baller. Better fit than Anthony Gordon. Currently playing for
Um,
Ajax.
let's watch the space. Let's see. Again, I think this is the final year of this Hansel Flick project if they don't win a Champions League. And so some of these
Really?
transfers are desperation. Barcelona cannot continue like this without every year hoping for a Champions League. And they've been exposed late in the rounds. And let's see. But yo, like I
You
said,
think it's that bad?
yeah, it's that bad. That bad.
Oh,
That
oh.
it is that bad. They're winning La Liga, and of course they're winning La Liga not just because of excellent play, but from Barcelona is they're winning La Liga because of the disarray over at Real Madrid. Now, if Jose Mourinho rolls in and start really turn things around and flip a switch at Real Madrid and Real Madrid start win and Real Madrid wins the Liga and Barcelona lose Champions League late, then I think Hansi Flick might be on the way, and especially if Jose Mourinho, Real Madrid, if he does get the job, Real Madrid goes on to win El Clasico. So, more to come. I guess we watch the space, but I'm looking at this, and I've been very biased looking at it, so I need to correct. This is BCN Sports. I want to be fair and balanced. Looking at this from Barcelona side of things. What about from Newcastle side of things?
What about it? They're 93 million richer. There's nothing to look at. They have all this money from Anthony Gordon, all this money from Alexander Isak.
So, but
No
wait. So Anthony Gordon wasn't he supposed to be the centerpiece of this Newcastle, this PFI Saudi fund project? I mean, they went and lured him. They lured him from Everton. Yeah, Everton on a big side, but they lured him from Everton with a nice chump change when other clubs were also interested in service because he was supposed to be one of the key ingredients and one of the key people in that Newcastle PFI Saudi funded project. So the project done?
Yeah. The project been done from them from they stopped spending money heavily in the club. I think the project been done since they move on from the Atlanta baller. Where they again?
Miguel
From
Almiron.
Venezuela. Mikel Amaran. That in the project has been done since then. It's like a slow burn. And you know what? That brings up a key point. Newcastle has been very slow at pulling the trigger on Eddie Howe when it seems like it's a foregone conclusion. They cut down on investment. They moved on from the big striker. Now they're moving on from their big winger. You had all these coaches that were out there waiting. They could have probably moved on Xavi. They probably could have moved on Xavi before Chelsea. They probably could have moved on Iriola before Liverpool. So who now is left is what, Glasner? And I think Glasner already signed off at AC Milan, right? Or is close to AC Milan. So,
Not sure. We'll check here in a few minutes.
but Newcastle, you talk about the Newcastle perspective. Maybe they're just okay with standing pat. Maybe they're okay with finishing in the mid-table in England and qualifying for the occasional European spot. Maybe that's their MO right now. But something has to be said around that angle too. That there's a discussion to be had there.
Yeah, Newcastle. But more money for the club to invest potentially, right? More money.
Yes, but then now it becomes can you attract that player? You have all this money. Can you attract that player? And who is that player? Valdemir, the German Messi, is a flop. I mean, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so he is now a flop. How are they going to turn around and invest this money now? And then Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali. We know Bruno Guimaraes is unsettled. Tonali gone. So now you have those two players with that you need to replace more likely. So who is now the new centerpiece? Ilanga?
I mean,
So
the Bruno Guimaraes, people have to forward with their money because I cannot see Newcastle letting them go those players just like that. Anthony Gordon already gone, fine. But Bruno Guimaraes has been a foundation, a pillar, a cornerstone of that club. I mean, you can't just let him go. In fact, Bruno Guimaraes and I think Joe Willock got into an argument recently during a game. And look, I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Willock might be looking at the door this summer. So that's how powerful I consider Bruno Guimaraes at Newcastle. As for Sandro Tonali, it's reported that Enzo Maresca, and if hired and expected to get the job, it's expected he will get the job at Man City in coming days, according to multiple reports. And he's one of those players that Enzo Maresca is high on to make the move over at Man City. So, Sandro Tonali, very lively player though. You could use him in a midfield to really kind of excite.
Yeah, but then because you talk about players forwarding with money, Iriola might come in. McAllister might leave Liverpool. McAllister might be wearing a Real Madrid jersey next year or a Barcelona jersey, possibly. Iriola might come to Newcastle now and say, Bruno, forward. So all of these flux players, I saw a report where Enzo Fernandez at Chelsea was saying like 170 million Ardo Carlos. So he too could be moving on. Hey, that's another name that could end up at Real Madrid. That's another name that could possibly end up at Atletico Madrid. That's a name that could end up in Italy at AC Milan. So all of these players that are going to be in flux, and Newcastle just look ripe for the picking. Newcastle look like that team that's going to be pillaged. And again, Eddie Howe just seems like a dead coach walking. To me.
Yeah, man. More to come on this one. Big up to those on the live. Big up to those joining BCN Sports halftime show. He's Junior. I am Benton. Yo, halftime. The show will recap some of the week's major news in sports. Continue kicking the ball around in the world of football. Junior, let's step over to some World Cup football news, and it's all about Neymar and Brazil. I mean, is he playing? Is he not playing? When he play, will he play? What's going on with Neymar? Brazil defeated Panama 6-2 in a friendly. Of course, Neymar wasn't involved in that game, but it was, I'm not just going to say it was only Panama, but I mean, you score 6 goals. It kind of was exciting.
Yeah, and especially after the last time I saw Brazil play against France, and they were properly dismantled. So I don't care about who you played against. It's one of those feel-good games for Brazil, and that was a send-off game. I saw the baptize the plane on the way out. So with that being said, hopefully some of the baptism water drop on Neymar's foot, because
maybe the baptism water drop on his foot already.
and probably that make it even worse. But there's so many questions around Neymar, and we all knew coming in. And I said it. I don't expect Neymar. My approach for Neymar is different than yours. Neymar is the emotional leader. He's not going to touch that field. If Neymar step on that field, Brazil is in crisis. That's how I see it. And this is a in case of emergency break glass kind of a moment, and this is a last ditch effort. But apart from that, brother, sit down and you just a glorified coach, or you just a glorified mascot. Now watch Neymar come up there and score like 4 or 5 goals this World Cup. I say, see Junior, shut up, right? But that's my expectation. So all of this fanfare around Neymar, all of this news around Neymar, you notice nobody's talking about Vinicius Jr. and the horrible year that he had. Nobody's talking about um who's going to be their starting number 9. Nobody's talking about the expectation for Rafinha. Nobody's talking about can Casemiro continue his run at his age. Nobody's talking about that. So there is a benefit to having Neymar there. Neymar is this lightning rod that is protecting the Brazilian team. And the news just cycle around him while the team just sit down and quietly, hopefully build something that they can perform well in the World Cup under Carlo Ancelotti. And maybe that was the plan the whole time. I don't know.
Neymar did make the rounds during this game as he took picks upon picks upon picks with the players of the Panamanian team, and even probably a few members of the Panamanian coaching staff wanted picks with Neymar Jr. What do you make of this? You just got beaten 6-2. Yes, the friendly game. But the Panamanian players for the most part didn't even seem perturbed by the 6-2. They were just excited to try to get a pick with one of their favorite players.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't think there's anything else to it.
But what do you tell Panamanian fans of Panama after a game like this? We had the same thing happen with Jamaica a few years ago. By the way, big up the Sean Brown with the Messi pick. The same thing happened, right? Because after that game, there was multiple reports that Mr. Brown find a camera. But clearly, the Panamanian players now just like, yo, they were pretty much lining up to get a pick with Neymar.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. These games, no, actually, and you know what? Because before me say it, I put my foot in my mouth, I had to check the score. So Panama is currently playing right now against Dominican Republic, right? You were angling towards how embarrassing this is and blah blah blah. Well, they are currently leading DR 2-0 at halftime. So the Panamanian football players and the fans understand Brazil is a different level.
Wait, the same DR Congo that Jamaica couldn't beat?
No. Dominican Republic.
Yo, the man come. Yo.
DR Congo drew with Denmark to the 0-0.
Yo, the man bring up Dominican Republic and I talk about Panama leading Dominican Republic 2-0.
Yeah, because you were talking about the concern about Panamanian players taking pictures with Neymar.
But Dominican Republic, the man play football, Junior. Baseball, the man play.
But all right. 2 weeks ago, I tell you that a magazine predicted Netherlands going to win the World Cup. Remember?
Yes, yeah, man.
Algeria bust their ass to the 1-0.
Yeah, both are football playing nations. Both are football playing nations. Panama beating Dominican Republic, a baseball playing nation, is nothing.
Algeria defeated Netherlands 1-0 in a World Cup warm-up. Should Netherlands still be considered favorites to win the World Cup?
You need to ask the brethren who picked Netherlands.
But it's the same argument now for Panama and Brazil. So if those people go and say we don't care, this is a warm-up game, it's the same argument for Panama and Brazil. We don't care about the score.
I see what you're trying to do. You did try to slide in the DR, make DR Congo, DRC. I'm like, what? Wait, hold on. Which DR y'all work with?
No. I said Dominican Republic. I said DR.
You know. I understand the Panamanian players. It's kind of the nature of the game. I mean, hell, if I was on the pitch, I probably would take a picture with Neymar to box cover.
Yeah.
I-
By
As
the way, Italy defeated Luxembourg 1-0.
yeah, as Deshaun Brown said, um, yo, what did he say in that interview? Because we interviewed him years ago. We asked him about the Messi photo, and he said, "Brethren, you just have to agree that Messi is a baller. I mean, not leave a thing without a picture." I think the Panamanian players are saying that they're not leave a thing without a picture. And I also think he said, and we have to go back and listen to the interview.
I'll look up that interview, people. The interview should be there in our YouTube
You need to
archives.
repost something there because some of them new people and but I think he did say that he actually went to the locker room, act like he was going to the bathroom, got his phone because he already matched it out from long time, aka planned it out that he was gonna get a picture with Messi either after the game, during the game, at some point. And he took his camera and he left it beside the bench. So because there was accusation that he had his camera, his phone in his socks. But he says he didn't have it in his socks. Was that what he said? He said he just went and left it by the bench. So it's and this is part of the World Cup. You have the vibes around some players that Panamanian players more often than not wouldn't have seen Neymar, right? Brazil, right. Even if Brazil play Panama in a just regular friendly, Neymar is because of the World Cup and the event that it is why Neymar is here, and so they get an opportunity to take a picture with the baller. So, big up Neymar, big up.
Yeah. BM says Neymar's selection was political. Imagine Pedro, Anthony, ECT gets left out for Neymar. I don't know why you call Anthony name. Ancelotti should get the blame for not being firm. The other said Jamaica struggles against teams that get slaughtered by the rest of the world. That shows how far behind Jamaica is. Curacao recently got beaten 4-1 by Scotland and 5-1 by Australia. And Jamaica couldn't even score a goal against Curacao. And let me add to it, at home without their head coach.
Listen, I'm wanting to leave Curacao alone now. Everybody, BM, please, thank you, but no thank you on the Curacao update. We don't need any score update for Curacao for the rest of this year. Curacao will be just vibes in enjoying the World Cup. It's going to be a party thing for Curacao and their fans. In fact,
adding to the scene.
In fact, BCN Sports will be part of the Curacao party bus. BCN will be joining the Curacao party bus. I mean, Curacao first nation of its size to make the World Cup. I mean, it's a party thing, man. Them man, they get 5, 6, 10, and it's still vibes. They might enjoy themselves. They're gonna go enjoy themselves. Continuing people, make sure to smash the like button, family. Make sure to smash the like button. Continuing our World Cup roundup, family. Run through the scores that you said, but we have spoken about the Neymar thing today, but we'll see what happened.
Ain't that for the bid scores? How old is Guam? Who beat Guam?
So
Philippines beat Guam 5-1. Gibraltar beat British Virgin Islands 4-0. Israel beat Albania 1-0. DR Congo drew with Denmark 0-0. And Nigeria and Poland drew 2-2.
Injury concern, Saliba. There's a worry about Saliba and his role or his ability to be full tilt in the upcoming World Cup. Another could be a potentially big blow for France here, Junior.
Yeah, but if there's ever a team that can stomach injuries, it is France. It is France. So it's a big blow, yes, because Saliba had a great year and doing well, and he's a start. He's one of the starters. I think he's one of the starting centre backs. So I'm not poo-pooing it, right? However, come on, come on. If there's a team that can survive that injury, it is France.
Didier Deschamps, coach of France, asked if he already has an 11 in mind for the first match of the tournament. He said, "Of course I do, yes, but you never know. There will be 2 matches between now and then. Things can happen." He did spoke about Saliba. They all want to be in the starting 11. We'll be mindful of the frustration, etc., etc. William is fine and he will be managed, as in William Saliba. If he had needed to play tomorrow, he would have played. That's what this according to. So that's promising news then.
Yeah.
It's very promising that if he needed to play tomorrow, he would play. So that's good news for the French team.
Yeah.
You know. Final thoughts on the World Cup before we go to Jamaican football and discuss some other sports news and get to it. Sir Junior Dest Jr. said he was pretty surprised by the turnout. USA defeated Senegal 3-2. But Dest said he was pretty surprised by the support they received during the game. Game played in North Carolina.
Yeah, against Senegal.
And Sir Junior Dest pre-World Cup training camp will be right here in Fayetteville, Georgia. So I guess we're going to be making our trek to Fayetteville, Georgia, Junior, to capture Team USA.
Who the hell is we?
BCN Sports bus will be making a trek down to. I mean, I don't, and of course, this is part and parcel of the thing that US fans said that they have played in stadiums at home where they feel like the away team.
All right, so people, yeah, this is where number one, I'm not disrespecting Benton and his comment, and I'm not dismissing what Benton just said, but I'm going to look past it. And this is the opportunity now for us to tell our BCN Sports family that if you're tired of watching the World Cup on the Spanish channel because you're tired of hearing everything America on the US channels and you can't understand the Spanish language, we're going to do watch alongs for the big games, for the games that count. So those games I would highly suggest that you watch those games and you mute them and turn me up and we just watch the games as a family. Because that comment from Sir Junior Dest, it just exemplifies everything why we can't take this side serious at the World Cup. I can't take them serious. I can't take the male side serious. Like, fool, you're hosting the goddamn World Cup. Like, yo, we can't bother you. Talk better. Me done.
Junior, let's take Junior's mic in case he gets let go from the land of the brave.
Hey,
right.
that's why I never say. That's why I never call the name of them because I don't want AI to take my words and think that I am against the country. I'm not against the country. I'm against the country's football team because it's just stupidity. Yo, you don't see nobody in Mexico saying that. You don't see nobody in Canada saying that. Why American male footballers have to take up this victim role? It's like a bunch of Karens, man. You know what? Yo, nobody piss me off, brother. Yo, Pochettino, do the right thing and make the side get 3-4 love and take away yourself, brother. Tired of them, man.
The game itself left a little bit of concern around Senegal's performance. I mean, Senegal ended up the game. US raced out to a 2-0 lead. Game ended 3-2. Senegal has to start off fast in these games, and I don't even know if Senegal is after playing yet at the World Cup.
But but that's the point. We cannot we so that me, I'm saying Senegal's performance versus USA shows why an African team won't win the World Cup anytime soon. Lack of focus at critical moments and defensive discipline continues to haunt the teams from Africa. Even though the USA has players in top leagues in Europe, the team is too soft and lacks grit compared to previous US teams. Well, now that being said, people, let me quote um I was going to say the great white hope of quarterback, but without say that. But let me quote Aaron Rodgers.
Well, another bug.
But he was right when he said this to his fan base. Relax. Relax. This is warm up to the World Cup. These are meaningless games. These are getting acclimatized with the climate games. These games don't count. The only thing that counts in these games is the injury sheet. That's the only number we keep in track of. 0 injuries or 1 injury or 2 injury or three. That's the only thing we care about with the warm-up games. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Now, look at the recently concluded AFCON. I would say one of the surprises of the AFCON was Egypt. I don't know how you feel, Benton, but one of the surprises of the last AFCON for me was Egypt.
Okay.
And going into the AFCON, I'm pretty sure Egypt either lost to Nigeria or drew with Nigeria right before AFCON started.
Okay.
And then look at how AFCON ended. That's why we cannot take these pre-game these warm-up games that serious. Can't take it that serious. So Senegal will be okay. Senegal is a big side. Here, and if Senegal get one thing is for sure, half of those Senegalese players will not be complaining about the heat. So they will be okay. Um, as for America, get off of this victim train, man. Go out there and play with some pride, play with some heart. You're playing in front of your home base. They are going to juice you up. These idiots will come up with these damn interviews. They need to go back and watch all the host nations at all the previous World Cups. They all played out their minds. They all overachieved. America is expected to do the same. They need to, Sergina Dest needs to go watch 1994 World Cup and shut the hell up. But you never expect. We never expect to get this turnout. You know what? I know I'm on a rant, you know. I know I'm on an epic rant right now. But I'm going to read between the tea leaves, Benton. That American locker room is fractured, and that American locker room is completely against Pochettino. And I think that is the genesis of Sergio Dest's comment. Because remember, Pochettino came out a couple days before when he was asked about did he call the players that he never called, like they never get the call up to the American team. Did he give them a call? And basically, Pochettino said, call them for what? The body don't make the same and go on with the business. What do I call them for? Move on. And I guess he had a fiery press conference. That Sergio Dest remark to me tells me that he expected the fan base to revolt against Pochettino. I'm going to call it out now. America going to fail. Well, they will fail in the World Cup. They won't win the World Cup. But I'm going to call it out right now. They're not coming out the first round. That team is fractured.
Mauricio Pochettino, you mentioned his name, of course. There are a lot of things going on around him meeting with, or his representatives meeting with AC Milan to discuss their vacant head coaching role. Of course, there are statements around the lack of calling players who didn't get selected. So, you know what? It's World Cup time. It's that time of year. According to Yahoo apparently Pochettino did say something when he says perhaps Pochettino did issue a statement or said something regarding the Milan news or Milan story. So um, it's not good. It's not a good distraction, or it's not a good distraction for the group when the head coach is already theoretically looking for other jobs out there.
Yeah.
The Neymar distraction over Brazil might be a good distraction for that group because it takes away from the spotlight that of trying to win and for some of those players who don't really know what our World Cup is like to really deliver. So in terms of this Pochettino thing and the Milan job, we'll see how that plays out. But hey, I'll be here to boo if they lose, if they get kicked up. In fact, I am here for it, not booing. All right, World Cup kicks off on the 12th. BCN Sports will do watch along of FIFA World Cup. We'll have our formal picks next week, Wednesday. So do join in, do jump on next Wednesday, same time, 9 p.m., where we'll officially predict the World Cup. We'll go through our thing and we pick our winners. Mexico kicks off the World Cup against South Africa next Thursday at 3 p.m. Let me see. I think them say we can work from home next Thursday. I think they did say I can work from home next Thursday. So let's see. If I'm working from home, watch along can go on. Or watch along out the road. But let's see. Let's step over to Jamaican football report now and get ready for Yard Ballers. Junior, kicking off this week's Yard Ballers. Reggae Girlz is getting ready to take on Panama in 2 friendly games coming up this week in Panama City. June 5th and June 8th. Of course, Reggae Girlz getting ready for CONCACAF W Championship. Coach Hubert Busby said, look, we've already been to 2 World Cups. We know what it takes. And we're in that situation now where the players are supposed to know what it takes, to paraphrase. But these games are big games. Big games.
They're big preparation games. And these games are needed games to continue chemistry and to iron out some kinks and to try some stuff. By the way, Dominican Republic scored on Panama 2-1. All right, start the panic train in Panama. Anyway, but yeah, so these games are needed. And I know I said for the World Cup games, these pre-games are meaningless games. I don't see this game as meaningless. I think the score will be meaningless. I won't take anything away from it if Jamaica was to lose both games. But what I want to see is evidence of a style of play. I want to see evidence of intent. And I want to see evidence of them trying to work on something where we can point to and say, here they are working on something with Costa Rica in mind. Whether it is closing down the wing play, whether it is overrunning the midfield, whether it is getting the ball into the box early for the striker, whether it is getting the ball down the wings for the wingers to get to. I want to see them working on something. So it's not just showing up to play a game for playing a game's sake. These are practice games, and the word emphasis on the word practice. That's why I don't care about the score. I just want to see them work on something.
BM did ask a question about Holland, about Norway regarding the World Cup. We never get to. Yeah, quickly, Norway, Junior.
We'll talk about that next week. Got Norway.
Next week, BM, we break. You know what? If I don't live to see next week, let me tell you my thoughts on Norway quickly. Yeah, I mean, it's a good side. I expect them to qualify from that group. That group with France and Senegal and Iraq. Norway should finish second in the group.
Over who?
Good luck. You see, here we go. Focus on the Reggae Girlz. Let's focus on the Reggae Girlz.
Yeah, I'm on this attack. You think them kick out? He said, what?
They can kick out Senegal. They can kick out Senegal. Or if they can win their group in UEFA, which, you know, in UEFA qualify, they can eliminate Senegal, especially a slow start in Senegal. Especially a Senegal team that don't even know if, you know what, you see what, you know, so Oscar Bob on the right wing, Erling Haaland down the middle, Martin Odegaard in midfield, and a few defenders around them. They can beat Senegal.
All right, so if I don't live to see next week, let me go ahead and put this out there so I can be a record. I don't can come back and say Junior was right. I put that on my tombstone. Junior was right. World Cup. I don't know. We'll go back to Reggae Girlz, but these World Cup groups, I would know the top two teams go through, right?
Top
by the
two
way,
teams
Panama
go through and 8 third place teams.
Panama score, so it's 3-1 now. Anyway.
Oh, look at you, Junior. Keeping very close eye on that game, aren't you?
But with these zones, not only this group might be the group of death. That's a whole other conversation. But it's all about how you play and who you play. Okay, you talk about having a slow start for Senegal. Senegal starts against France. Right? Yep. Now, one might say, France supposed to beat the brakes off of Senegal, blah, 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 right? No, you won't say that. That's cool. Do you remember Ivory Coast World Cup start? When they had their little World Cup run, who did they play first? You remember?
No, me remind me.
It's not a rhetorical question. I'm trying to remember, but they played, I want to say it was France. But they played a big game to start. And they surprised that team. It was a European team, if memory serves me correctly. Is that a France or Germany? I'm talking the El Hadji Diouf.
But El Hadji Diouf was Senegal. No. Ivory Coast Junior. Coast. You know what?
Ivory Coast side.
That was Senegal, and they did upset France when they start that World Cup.
Right. So it's Senegal. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking Ivory Coast. But anyway, Senegal started fast that World Cup, and it catapulted them straight through, right?
Well, I don't know if it catapulted them straight through.
They had a successful run in that World Cup, didn't they? You wouldn't consider that World Cup a success for them?
Yeah, it was a success.
Right. So they are starting with France.
The fact that they didn't really know nobody.
Right, they knew. So they are starting with France now. I can see a World Cup start where Senegal draw with France. They play Norway second, and they play Iraq last. If they can find a draw in both games, because I'm going to give Norway their respect, or they find a win out of one of those two games, we're going to consider Iraq game a win. They get the coveted 6 points. I am going to consider the Iraq game a win. If they come out of the first two games with at least 3 points, Iraq has no chance against Senegal the last group game, leaving Norway and France to play fight all. So it depends on how you start, and it depends on how the games shake out. That's a big key for World Cup. It's a huge key for World Cup.
It's the same. It depends on how you start. You can't start slow.
No. The reason why it's not the same. Let me give you a perfect example.
Find one example where a team not start fast.
I'm going to give you many. Argentina, last World Cup.
Yeah, against Saudi Arabia.
All right.
And Argentina against Saudi Arabia, against Mexico. Not Saudi Arabia, against Mexico in that last game. If Mexico had just drawn that game, Argentina will be where now?
Right. We'll be talking about can Messi win a World Cup at this age.
And we need to talk about the referee.
That's a whole other conversation. But that's a next week conversation.
So, So I mean, it's typical for the World Cup. It's just you have starts. You try to start fast. And even that game, that Mexico Argentina game, just remembering the score, I looking it up again. It's 2-0, but it was a tense 2-0 game.
It wasn't an easy 2-0 game
Right.
for Argentina. Yeah.
All right, back over to the Reggae Girl. So Junior is on record. Regarding Norway, BM, I'm on record in the event something go on. I know BCN Sports that week. But to the Empress, the Reggae Girls, the Empresses of the Reggae Girls. Junior, you were saying about this game.
Yeah, just go out there and treat it like like the practice game that it should be, and work on something. We don't. Busby shouldn't be worried about job security. It should be all about finding the right pieces, making sure who it should be all visions towards Costa Rica. We don't care about in the now. And we're not trying to win now and lose against Costa Rica. We're trying to build towards Costa Rica, and that should be the goal.
Um, Busby said, they have some things they're working on. Of course, they're trying to address in the we'll try to do a watch along this Friday for the game. If I can find the channel. If we can find the channel, watch along and go on. But if we can't find the channel, then sorry, can't find it. But if we can find the channel, Busby says we're reintegrating some players in to make sure that our pool is still continuing to be strong, which is good because that's some players coming back in who weren't involved in April for various reasons. So Busby saying the right thing, pressing the right buttons. I'm very excited about the group of players that the Reggae Girls currently have, and look, he's winning football games, Junior. I mean, that's straight and simple.
Yep.
Straight answer. Speaking of the Reggae Girls, this story came out last week. About this donation by Sidela Mali. Now, we have not confirmed or heard anything from whether the JFF or Sidela Mali are. I don't even know who carried the story, but it's out there. Multiple reports that Sidela Marley donated 70,000 US dollars to the Reggae Girls. We did reach out for the Panama game. We did reach out to JFF to get to either verify or didn't refute the story. When them link we back, we here. We're making a know if they're linking the back.
All I know is that you just made it abundantly clear that GFF will never.
No, them not.
That's true.
Them not go back.
That email is said they are definitely not listening to this.
JFF will not link us back. But out of good practice here at BCN Sports, we give all sides the opportunity to reply and get their voices, let their voices be heard.
Yep.
Any comments on this? If true.
You know what? Let's preface it by saying, if true, it's very disappointing. It's very sad. It shows that there's a lot detail. And you know what? GFF, we have formally sent emails to you guys, and if we're not big enough, then just say, yo, you guys are not big enough.
No, but them not need to say them actually say.
Well, pause for that. Pause. Pause. No, you know what? JFF, we have said, let me rephrase it. JFF, we have sent interview requests. And actually we were told to get our weight up before we can leave. We were told that. And that's fine if we're not worthy enough to be graced by your presence. But as a fan base, we need to know what you guys are doing in terms of the development of the football and in the nation. And it's bigger than the Jamaica women's football team. And that in itself is a sad statement because the Jamaican women's football team is what is carrying football for the nation. So there should be nothing bigger than that right now. But it's bigger because I saw where I don't remember which president. I think it's either the Western FA or St. Elizabeth football. Whichever one of the presidents came out and did an interview and was talking about how the federation is not helping any of the club teams below the Jamaica Premier League. They're not. No money is reaching the parishes or Division Two teams. So it is kind of disheartening and sad that the team that is carrying the football flag for us, there's a news report out there that possibly Sidela Mali, Miss Sidela Mali, is donating her money to the girls to get them the proper resources that they need to reach their games. And we don't hear nothing like that from the men's team who just playing the Unity Cup. And no disrespect to the men's team. But if I am short for money and I have to pick between Unity Cup or Jamaica women's team going to Panama to get ready to play Costa Rica, I'm picking the Panama game. No disrespect. So maybe they have things buttoned up on the male side that we're not hearing about the discrepancy. But it's sad that the women's team, the mantle, the flagship for our football program, have to depend on Sidela Mali. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think the report even said that she was asked if she's going to be returning back to her role would basically asked if she's going to return back as one of the
previous role, previous
leaders.
benefactor to the player.
Right.
I think that's what I saw also.
If that is true, Benton, I'm not trying to choose my words wisely. We don't want JFFs to win, but isn't that similar to somebody a big? Is that similar to begging? And worse, to make it worse, it's not even begging, it's similar to scamming. I just scam you something, and you find out some scam you, and so you take with yourself. And me rally back next month now for ask if you're ready to come back and do this thing with me again. And let's just pretend what happened in the past did not happen. That's what I'm getting out of it. It's sad, brother.
Yardiball, big up Yardiball. Yardiball posted on Blue Sky. Of course, Yardiball, reliable content deliver. Reliable content as always. Yardiball always deliver to us and football fans of women's football and Jamaican women's football content on Blue Sky. Yardiball posted, quote, the Jamaica Football Federation was unable to pay for airline tickets for the Reggae Girlz trip to Panama for upcoming friendlies and sought help from former Reggae Girlz ambassador Sidela Mali, who contributed US $70,000. She paid for the tickets and 2 days of ground expenses. Source TVJ News, end quote. So Yardiball highlighted the storyline, and Yardiball highlighted a very reputable source, as in TVJ News.
Sad.
So I guess Jen Sek not gonna reply now, Mr. Prezi will not reply. But it is what it is. Kudos to Sidela Mali. And it begs the question, if we're struggling to find money to engage Panama and prepare friendly games, then boy, the road look rough. Imagine the next window when we need to play some friendly games and properly prepare for Costa Rica. In that win-all game, if you win, you're in the World Cup for 2027. It's not a good look, brother. It's not a good look. And this is a team that has gone to 2 World Cups Consecutive World Cups. Not 2 World Cups in a weird time. Consecutive World Cups. Struggling. Something. No, somebody over there so now do the maths.
JFF, do the right thing. Become transparent. Do a transparent interview. If you guys won't do it with us, do it with somebody independent, and hopefully you guys don't talk about you need to see the questions before and blah blah blah. Do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Yardiball also posted, big up Yardiball, check out Yardiball on Blue Sky. Yardiball also posted, quote, TVJ News also reported that when they checked if Sidella Marley was returning to the Reggae Girlz program, they were told, quote, told that her gesture was only to help the team at this time. Marley, often called the fairy godmother of the Reggae Girlz, has helped to rescue the team many times in the past, end quote. Yardi Ball, Yardi, Yardie, Ball, Ball, on Blue Sky. And he's citing the source, Yardi Ball, citing TVJ News. Eugene replied, said the Reggae Girlz will only ever be as good as JFF allows them to be. And you can't have all the talent in the world. This team will not maximize or reach its full potential with this level of piss poor, or lack of proper financial management. Can't reach its full potential. Continuing our Yard Ballers report, and where we're at, and again, Reggae Girlz will take on Panama on the 5th and also on the 8th. You know what? While we at it, vloggers, because there are other ways for Reggae Girlz make money. Vloggers and YouTubers. I think some of us are to be blamed here, There's not enough coverage of the Reggae Girlz by some of the vloggers. We spend a lot of time talking about the Reggae Boys. We're covering Unity Cup. We're doing watch along of Unity Cup, and these are vloggers with multiple subscribers, whole heap of subscribers. We discuss Reggae Boys coaching, this, that. We have Mr. Speid on. We talk about which player should be selected. We talk about young England, Jamaican Reggae Boys player who should be here. And I understand that as a content creator, you have to go, you're more than likely sometimes pushing what is getting the clicks. But YouTubers, vloggers, reggae, Jamaican football vloggers that have so many subscribers, you can cover the Reggae Girlz more. You can cover, and enough I want to have the access to the Reggae Girlz to talk to them. So, and they're a big up Ryan LFC does a good job. We'll talk covering the Reggae Girlz. But more YouTubers, more vloggers need to cover the Reggae Girlz, because I'm not even gonna say it over there, so I'll leave that alone. The Reggae Girlz is the best Jamaican national team. The Reggae Girlz is the most successful Jamaican national team. And the Reggae Girlz are struggling. Vloggers are covering Unity Cup against India, brethren. India and I middle idea play against cricket side, meaning football-less BBC game that no man is supposed to care about. No man who care about anything serious should be concerned about Jamaican football right now and covering the local idiot Unity Cup tournament. Because Unity Cup over there is the losers tournament. And Rudolph Speid can get an Irie FM on the ball all he wants and talk about he wants and speak about the next cycle. The cycle is done. The Reggae Girl cycle is currently going on right now. So why are we so run as vloggers I run behind Reggae Boys? Why are we Unity Cup, India versus Jamaica? Watch along. Man, go. Look at that side, they go full up around the corner, brother. Reggae Girls must supposed to be able to get enough coverage from vloggers. Vloggers need to do a better job, man. And all right, and I will say we are culpable here because sometimes we cover the Reggae Boys and them need to. And it's a clickbait thing, we're getting views in the Jamaican sports window. But yo, Jamaican football fans, where them there? Where the camera there? When there? We love Jamaica or love Jamaica? Do you really love Jamaican football or do you just love the Reggae Boys? Because you should have the same energy for the Reggae Girls as you have for the Bug Reggae Boys. In fact, more energy for the Reggae Girls. Because the Reggae Girls are win games, are go World Cup. Reggae Boys are bug side, not gonna away. Sit down at them yard. Bunch of foolishness. Yo, watch along I go on against India and a Virgin. India cricket side, the man them are playing a Unity Cup, you know. And watch along I go on and make glad. Reggae Girls are struggle for Reggae Girls should get more of the video light. And vloggers, all our Jamaican football vloggers calling into task, brethren, all of it. Need to come together and Reggae Girls need to get fully lit, fully coverage.
Yeah, I agree.
And of course, Reggae Boys is playing this would be a perfect case study. Reggae Boys is playing South Africa most is Saturday. Reggae Girls is playing Panama Friday night. Let's see how many watch-alongs are going on Saturday for Reggae Boys, bug side against South Africa versus Reggae Girls Friday night against Panama.
Yeah.
And if your culture who say we burn fish, but yet we are run behind a bagger man. Come on, man. The side I lose. The side now win the ball game. Leave them thing over there. So make the side go sit down. We support the woman then, man. Don't talk. Jamaica versus Panama, June 5th. And yeah, Reggae Boys fans who know one of them. Me know one. Someone was like, yo, dog, can't support women football. Can't support them ball in a good dog. Brother, but I don't see him when I run out and said, anything Jamaica say, we are supportive full 100. And we sit down here and watch a look at idiot bug side that play against India. I want to you, man. Come on, Reggae Girls. Supposed to get support. Reggae Girls versus Panama, Friday, January 5th, June 5th, 9 p.m. And Monday, 9 p.m. If I can find the channel, watch along I run. Big up to Crystal, who's always covering Reggae Girls content, fully loaded. Big up to, yo, all the Reggae Girls content providers should be getting fully supported. Reggae Boys are bug side. So then that's the question I asked, was Brand Jamaica sells then, Junior? Because if Brand Jamaica really sells, then the Reggae Girls supposed to be selling just as much or even more than they lose inside.
You're on a roll. Believe your Lord to your role.
I mean, me understand everyone have their own appetite and everyone not like to say, but at the same time, if we say we are support Brand Jamaica and it's a team that is winning, I can't understand wrap my head around the reluctance to cover them, the lack of so many streams running when they are playing. Now, granted, they might say, boy, they can't find the stream. But then the question I ask is how many of them really actually search for the stream? But when Reggae Boys are playing, man, yo, man, I find anything for I once was that person. I once was like that. Reggae Boys are playing. Yo, me have to find it, you know. Nah. I was at the market the other day and I saw a man in a Jamaica shirt. A big market with a farmer's market. He was in that diamond shirt, diamond thing shirt with the green, and I'm saying, Reggie, what go on, no say side now go World Cup, you know. The idea road in the eye shirt. Yeah, I'm saying, yo, the side dead. I first words to come out of my mouth, him said the side dead, them dead. I swear. He then said, the reason why I have on the shirt is because his mother needed something from the store and I first shirt him could have reached. So him just boom, pull it on and just run out. And him have an elderly mother. And he decided to run out and grab something at the market for her. But him said the side dead. Him said he that side. As in the Reggae Boys, because
Yeah, I mean, yo, well, first of all, let me just put it this way. Cause you might, while you were speaking facts, you might have, if this information get told to certain people's ears, you might have just created some enemies. And I want all the smoke. So let me just put that out there first. Right? Let's put it out there first. And yeah, when you say it's true, though, there's a conversation to be had about are they marketable? I'm big up to Felix and Phoenix J Janice on Instagram, because when I posted that my comment about they're not marketable, then it wasn't she, it was somebody else. The next little person where the next media personality were running for the post. Running has sent me a message.
Yeah.
Running has sent me a message for Instagram. Oh, basically say, yo, we are just come support our Jamaica women's football team. And if we not let me read the exact message. And it's important for me to read this message because what you just said a while ago is true. But I think there's also a section in the Jamaican women football support that we can't say it another way. They grab this up like they think it's theirs only.
But is there a section in the men's football that does that though? And what does that grab up? By the way, NBA score game 1, NBA final 86-86, Knicks versus Spurs. Game tied, fourth quarter, 7 minutes remaining in the game. Junior, we need to wrap up soon enough so we can watch the last part of this game.
So we're done after this. But the comment was the Reggae Girls are not unknown. We all are just not ready for female football or interested in female football. So join the push and promote it. Right? And that to me, big up to Empress Golding. I'm just put her name out there. And Empress. I think she's a TV and radio host. So everybody watch her on, I think, TVJ. I think she's on TV, or is it CVM? One of them. But she does host programs on TV. So while what she's saying is correct, I think we can end up going into a zone where you have a bunch of people that's where say we've been doing this for a while, and you weren't on board, and you need to shut up and just follow us, or shut up and follow, and blah blah blah, and then it becomes sections versus sections instead of just supporting the team, right? And I think that's where we just need to end up. Leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is, if you want to run in and support, no matter how you forward, support. I don't get to determine or tell people how to support her. Support the thing. Yeah. And BCN Sports would always try and support the Reggae Girls. Reggae Girls from Wapiki and Philippa. That's how we're there. So we have been supporting the Reggae Girls from jump. Again, Panama versus the Reggae Girls, Friday, 9 p.m. If I can find a channel, watch along a run. Out of obligation, Junior. Unity Cup, Reggae Boys, Rudolph Speid, Irie FM. Jamaica Reggae Boys will play South Africa on Saturday, according to Rudolph Speid. Junior, he said a lot of things in this interview on Irie FM, saying that he's rebuilding, blah, blah, blah. Irie FM, big up to Evan and Robert over at Irie FM for, towing the line, but actually getting some serious questions out. Any thoughts? I mean, anything to add to this?
No
to
thoughts.
Reggae Boys?
No. Nope. None. I don't care. I don't care. Like I said, we don't care about Reggae Boys for another 2 years.
Yeah,
Just
start
build
coming
the
back
side.
when real ball games start playing.
Yeah, let's just build the side.
Boosting.
Go win Nations Cup or Nations League. Go win the Caribbean Cup. Go qualify for Gold Cup. Go compete hard in the Gold Cup, and then get ready for the next World Cup. I don't really care about you're building something now. Just build a side, brother. Just put a side together.
Yeah, and the passa about if a man not take a call, no, I don't care about them the foolishness there. I don't care about them foolishness there. I mean, come on. Yo, I that we are going where we are to watch NBA. Yo, the Reggae Girlz, the $70,000 donation for the Reggae Girlz just mash up my vibes. Because the mere fact that Reggae Girlz consecutive World Cups, the best woman striker right now in all of football, the double winning Khadija Bonishaw, WSL and FA Cup winning Khadija Bonishaw, Kiki Van Zanten, Salai Washington, Drew Spence, ballers. I still can't market that product and still I look money. I mean, the report is that according to Yardiball, yo, ear fears. Junior, we could appear for ear fears.
No, don't put that thought. No, I couldn't. No. I could write the email to get a private sector company to be willing to pay for that airfare. I could do that.
Imagine if I was unable to pay for airline tickets. Yo, Spirit no fly go Panama. Yo, right, that family. Have a wonderful rest of the week. BM, big up yourself. Big up to everyone who's on the live. Smash the like button. Support the Reggae Girlz. Give the Reggae Girlz a chance. They're going to heap a thing over there so with the Reggae Boys. We're tired of Reggae Boys. I'm going to take up too much space right now. I give them a break. I tire them out. It's just like when you're in a country. You see, I go tire out cow. We tire out the Reggae Boys. We just tire them out the road. Reggae Girlz, we are drying right now. Tie out the Reggae Boys. Yo, have a wonderful Thursday. Have a wonderful rest of the week. We always talk about West Indies and the women's cricket, but we don't have no time for that right now. Women's cricket coming up. We'll do some watch along for the Women's T20 World Cup when that kicks off. West Indies, rally around the West Indies. But West Indies men lose today against Sri Lanka. Watch new. So we go. Yo, I that Big up on yourself. Have a wonderful Thursday, family. We're gone on the road,